They've heard the appeals from President Zelensky to close the skies over Ukraine to save lives. But so far, from the UK's Foreign Secretary and America's Secretary of State, the answer remains no.
If I were in President Zelensky's position, I'm sure I would be asking for everything possible in his mind to help the Ukrainian people. Our goal is to end the war, not to expand it, including potentially expand it to NATO territory. We want to make sure that it's not prolonged to the best of our ability. Otherwise, it's going to turn even deadlier, involve more people, and I think potentially even make things harder to resolve in Ukraine itself.
And the latest atrocity changes little.
The attack on the hospital is absolutely abhorrent, reckless and appalling. But the reality is that setting up a no-fly zone would lead to a direct confrontation between NATO and Russia.
Until now, the US government has been hesitant about labelling any of Russia's actions as war crimes. After Mariupol, the evidence they're gathering, along with the International Criminal Court, is mounting to a point where it's impossible to ignore. The needs for Ukraine are more urgent. If the West won't impose a no-fly zone, they say, at least hand over these Polish fighter jets so they can do it themselves. But even that's a step too far for a West wary of being dragged into the war by the back door.
We don't believe additional aircraft is the most effective answer to meeting those needs in the conflict. Now, look, sovereign nations can decide for themselves what they want to do, but this idea, the proposal of transferring these jets to our custody, for then transferring to Ukraine, that is something that we are not going to explore right now.
It isn't what Ukraine wants to hear. For all of President Zelensky's pleas, it is clear here at the State Department, in the UK government, in NATO, there has been no shift in position on those big issues of a no-fly zone or sending those Polish jets to Ukraine. It begs the question, if the bombing of a maternity hospital doesn't change their minds, what will? The horrors of this war are playing out on screens in homes around the world. How much more will people tolerate before they demand stronger action from their leaders? That whatever the risks, enough is enough. Greg Milam, Sky News.